What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Jackie Clark, and today you are here with myself and Brittany Freeman as we are here for Creative Class Entrepreneurs, and we are going to talk about mastering the digital influencer landscape. Brittany, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk about all the things that really goes into influencer marketing and digital marketing.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like we could be here for days and hours because I feel like we're
Yes.
only scratching a bit of the surface. But first, I want to get started with tell us a little bit about yourself. So, how did you become interested in the digital and influencer marketing space, and what inspired you to take this on as a career?
Gotcha. So I actually fell into entrepreneurship. I absolutely had no desire to be an entrepreneur when I first got started. We've been in business for about 9 years. 9 years. We're going on a decade in March of 2024, which is a huge milestone. But I just started off with doing life coaching, which is still, a really great industry to be in. But what I learned very quickly was, a lot of my target audience at the time, of course, were women. But they wanted more than just me to inspire them and provide them with the tools. They were seeing that I literally started my business with no real background in entrepreneurship. They saw that, I was growing quickly, if you will, utilizing social media, and they wanted to know, well, how did you do that? So I don't know if you guys are familiar with me or my brand, but I love to share my personal story of literally going from nearly homeless to now we have this 7-figure business. But again, it just came from utilizing social media initially, and people wanted to know, how did I do that? So it went from the life coaching, and then we kind of elevated the brand to business development. And before we know it, it just turned into, you know what? Let's just make sure that we're providing business development services exclusively to women, because I know what women want. And I know what it is, how they want to be able to be marketed to. We don't like stuff too salesy. We want a little personal touch. And that has really allowed the brand to just grow tremendously. I own a women-owned co-working space. Obviously we have Pink University and services. We've worked with really large companies like Hyatt Hotels, Hilton Hotels, but it came from, again, just knowing what it is that women want to see when they're being marketed to.
I love that. I too fell into entrepreneurship ish. I knew I couldn't work for anybody else. I didn't
Yes.
know where it was going, but it's funny. Everybody always comments, they see my shoes in the background. I studied fashion design and I wanted to be a bridal designer and then fell into PR. And now I'm into this whole media scape. So I totally understand. And I love the whole mission of helping women. And congratulations on the almost 10 years.
Thank
And I
you.
definitely we have to dive in or off topic or y'all check her out online and dive into your homeless to millions. I want to call it homeless to millions story because I feel like that would be very a lot of people would resonate with that and understand where you're coming from. But I want to ask a lot of people hear the terms digital and influencer marketing and they think it's this, they think it's that. In your opinion, what is digital and influencer marketing?
Gotcha. So I always say that when it comes to digital marketing, based upon whatever industry that you're in, there's going to be some need for some type of influencer marketing. And the reason for that is digital marketing consists of what your consumers are seeing online, whether that's on social media, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter. Now there's a new thing right now called Lemon8, Pinterest. Yes, Lemon8 is a thing. You're hearing it here from me first, but you're definitely going to start hearing about Lemon8 a lot in the future. But that's kind of the landscape of where digital marketing can be, as well as Google ads, people opening up emails from, our different clients. So where is it that your audience kind of hangs out? And where are they going to be most interested in repetitively hearing about your brand or your launch or your offer, whatever it is that the client has going on, but also making sure that we have some type of influencer that is talking about the offer, the brand, the product, or whatever as well. Because a lot of times, again, with women, it's about trust. Can we trust that, you're telling me that this beauty product that's, $299 is going to, make my skin look amazing. But if I know I trust in the influencer, let's just say her name is Carla, and she's telling me about it, oh, well, now I'm going to buy it because I trust Carla. And then if you get multiple different influencers, well, now it's going viral and multiple people are repetitively hearing about the brand, hearing about whatever the product is, again, digitally, online, numerous times. So that's in a nutshell what digital marketing is and how it really includes influencer marketing.
I love that because you talked about trust, and what I believe, in my opinion, which are not facts, that trust is a really big thing. You have to build some type of trust. I tell people this all the time. People buy emotions. You
Yes.
buy a certain deodorant because it makes you smell good. You eat at a certain restaurant. You sleep on a certain side of the bed. There's a level of comfort there, and people need to trust that you are going to support whatever emotional tie that they have. So I really love that you talked about that because a lot of people kind of gloss over the trust factor.
Yeah.
Consistency is a thing, but trust and consistency go in tandem and work, well together.
Exactly.
So as we talk about digital marketing digital and influencer marketing, what are some of the key trends and changes you've observed in the industry or in the market so far, and how do you adapt to stay ahead of the curve?
Gotcha. So again, I would say with digital marketing is making sure that you're doing trend research on your specific industry. So for example, if I'm working with a coach, right? Coaching, their digital marketing and what type of influencers that they should work with is going to be completely different from someone that may own an actual product, right? So I would say trend wise is making sure that you're doing market research consistently. For example, the days of how we would create a reel and post it online with some trending audio, as short as like 6 months ago, the game has changed. Now Instagram wants carousels. In the days of, just using a cool little fancy keyword or having, your aesthetics being, very pretty on your Instagram feed, those days again have changed based upon whatever industry that you are in. So my best advice to people is don't just focus on what's the trend in your specific industry, and then kind of combining that with what's really happening on the platform that you are trying to do your marketing on: Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, the whole deal. Because again, everything is different. It's not really a cut and paste, type of process when it comes to trends.
I love that you talk about that because I believe a lot of people, we just see, oh, someone went viral. I'm going to try this. And what worked for them doesn't necessarily work for
It
you.
won't.
One of the things I tell my clients, one of the things I always talk about on social is, do we actually know our audience? A lot of us are putting out content, but we actually don't know what our audience wants because we haven't really surveyed them. And it is a give and take. You kind of have to put out some stuff, see what bites and whatnot. But I love that you talked about, what I took from that was research your
Yes.
industry. Because what's happening in the event world might be very different than the influencer world is different than the financial world. So what are the trends within your industry? And you said something that I want to talk a little bit about quickly is, well, not quickly, but talk about it, is you talked about platforms. Can you go over why it's so important to understand where your audience is and know that not every platform is for your brand? You don't need to necessarily be on LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So right now, I would pretty much say all industries can really benefit from short form content. But because it's short form content, right? Instagram, if you have something that may be 8 seconds, can you speak for 8 seconds quick enough to catch somebody's attention? If not, then you may need to move on over exclusively to YouTube. But with that being said, is that where your target audience is? Some of us, we may need to market our business on Instagram, Facebook only. Some of us need to be on all the platforms. So I would say if you are service based, Instagram is going to be your place because Instagram is great for people that are looking to build some type of community, as well as, kind of put out content consistently, not, once a week when you feel like it. You got to be consistent on Instagram because there's so many people trying to push different offers all the time. Whereas YouTube is where, of course, you're still building a community, but it's really about storytelling. And it doesn't have to be in short form. So if you're a content creator, you want to really focus on selling baked goods or something like that, or you want to focus on beauty, YouTube is going to be the go-to place for that because you can build trust long-term over time. It's going to be in a long-form way. You don't have 5 seconds to kind of do it. And then there's TikTok. TikTok is not where you go for trying to build a community. You can go viral over there. You can kind of put out some type of physical product that someone can see. And you are going to, if you're trying to sell it, that is, you are going to have to get some influencers behind you because, again, it's so quick over there. There's, hundreds of millions of people on Instagram trying to sell the same thing. So it's so important to make sure that you actually have some type of strategy for TikTok, really for all of them, but definitely for TikTok if you're looking to go viral, if you will, over there.
I love that. And, I feel like, do you feel like TikTok is an underdog in terms of like people aren't utilizing it the way that businesses and entrepreneurs and brands aren't utilizing it the way that they want to? I hear a lot from clients and people that I talk to, especially a little bit of the older generation or
Yes.
those like me in my late 30s now. I'll be on the TikTok, but some of us feel like it's for kids. We shouldn't really be over there. What do you say to people who really like, I just don't think I should, TikTok isn't for me, or it's too young for me?
Oh, you're missing out. You're missing out big time. Again, it's kind of based upon whatever industry that you're in, but there's a huge benefit. If you look at a lot of the bigger, Fortune 500 companies, they're utilizing TikTok. And that's for a reason. They could be selling, cream or something for, an aging woman or an aging man. It's still over there on TikTok. Now, the type of content that you may put on there may be a little bit different, but you still can benefit 100% from TikTok because it's going to get in front of a lot more people versus Instagram. The algorithm, you're fighting that every day. You got to put out, 5 reels in a carousel in order for you to get engagement. It's a lot easier on TikTok. I've had clients that have maybe only had an account for 2 months, and now they have like 100,000 followers. That's unheard of on Instagram. It's unheard of. You got to be up there, a couple of years sometimes to even reach, 10,000, followers over there. So if you're not using it, if you think it's only for the kids, you are missing out because the reach is a lot bigger on TikTok.
That is good to know. It's interesting that you talked about reels and not reels, carousels and what was it? Carousels and reels, was it?
Yeah, carousels and reels.
It's so funny how carousels are coming. It's almost like everything recycles after a couple of years. So can you talk about why, in your opinion, or from your understanding, why carousels are making a comeback, why it's also connected to reels, and what is the power of a carousel? Because sometimes I don't know if they're like, I always debate, like, should I post them? Should I not?
Absolutely. I think with just the generation that we're in, that's kind of leading with having accounts on Instagram. We're tired of seeing the dancing reels and, pointing at the words. We've gotten tired of that. So naturally, when consumers get tired of seeing something, they're going to start looking for something else. And again, that's just kind of recycling stuff that we probably already did before, which is why carousels are working the best right now. As well as, Instagram makes all these different updates and announcements, and they kind of choose, what type of content they're going to push out more. So you could have the best reel in the world. Maybe, you hire a professional and you got all this editing going on. But if Instagram has made the announcement that we're going to be more so pushing photos versus videos, you got to pay attention to that as well. And again, that's because we've complained so much about it's so hard to create reels and we're tired of seeing people dancing and stuff like that. The benefit, however, of using a carousel versus a reel is that you're really able to kind of create value content, if you will, and take your followers or whoever it is viewing it kind of on a journey, if you will. So with carousel, most of the time you should have like large text that's bold, and it may say, learn how to tie your shoe. Then the next slide is going to say, if you're struggling with tying your shoe and it took you 10 years to learn, keep sliding. You see, so it's forcing you to engage with the content, which for the person who holds the account, it's going to help them with building up engagement, fighting against the algorithm because people are engaging and they're sliding versus previously with the reel. You're just kind of looking at it and then you scroll up, move on to the next thing.
Interesting. Those are some really, really, really fair points in terms of the reel. And, you talked about bringing value with the reel, but it allows you also to reestablish or establish your expertise. also educate. And I think that's the thing, like, how are you educating your client? So, I want to, you're giving us some gems and drops and all the stuff. If everyone watching, if these are gems for you, if you're loving this, drop some gems in the chat. We'd love to see it. But I want to ask you, how do you approach developing effective strategies for your clients? And what factors do you consider when selecting influencers to work with?
Gotcha. So I believe in content pillars. So with content pillars, we're kind of organizing everything, if you will. So let's say, for example, our team will do the research, but most of the clients will say to us, well, we know for a fact that our audience is on Instagram. And then we do research and we figure out, well, actually, there's probably 80% more of your target audience on another platform. So it's the market research first to figure out where your people are. Then it's the content pillars, meaning, all right, if we're going to create some type of strategy on Instagram, TikTok, wherever, what type of content needs to go over there? Not just kind of copy and pasting everything that looks exactly the same on all pages. Also making sure that we're going in and figuring out, well, what has worked the best for you before? Do they need to see more of you? Do they need to see less of you? Do they need to see your team? Do they need to see the product and behind the scenes? All of that makes a difference when you're creating these content pillars to kind of organize what type of content needs to go out, where it needs to go out to, and also when it needs to come out as well, especially if you're looking to launch a product or something, or membership. You don't want to just make the announcement, hey, today I'm launching something, click the link in my bio. There has to be a buildup when you're creating a strategy for marketing online.
I want to dive a little deep into that, because as somebody who's a former publicist, as somebody who is an idea generator, and then I have friends and clients who come to me, so Jax, I want to do I'm going to launch an album and it's going out tomorrow, Monday. And I'm like, today's Thursday. Like,
right.
About the importance of pre-promotion and planning for a launch, especially as a digital influencer or just a basic influencer. Can we talk about the importance of that? Because I believe a lot of people miss, and they think, well, it's okay, I have like 40,000 followers, I'll just put it out and it's going to sell out. Why is it important to pre-plan your promotions for a launch?
Absolutely. If you're looking to really make or hit a large goal, you need pre-marketing. There needs to, first of all, be planning. Mm-hmm. Then there's pre-marketing. Then it's the launch of the actual whatever it happens to be. And then there's just marketing that's just going to continuously keep running after the launch is already over. But pre-marketing is so important because no one wants to be sold to, most people don't want to just be sold on something, immediately. Meaning you're talking about it today for the first time. This is my first time hearing about it. So that means all your content moving forward is going to be super salesy because you're trying to hurry up and, make a sale by the end of the week. And I'm used to maybe you talking about, doing your hair and all these other things that have nothing to do with the offer. But now you're trying to force, this offer down my throat. So again, that can really turn off your audience from wanting to work with you or whatever it is that you're trying to sell, because you're changing up the content too quickly and you're expecting to make revenue when you haven't even built a community, you haven't built up your email list, your text message list beforehand. And also building up the urgency. Why should I want to get this thing, that's coming out in 30 days? I always say, use the example of Rihanna. She does, it's perfect. Her marketing, right? For Super Bowl.
Amazing.
She didn't just pop up on Super Bowl day and say, hey, I'm launching some new lip gloss, check it out. She had a whole strategy of warming us up for several months. Yes. And guess what? How much she sold? She sold almost 5 times the amount that she normally would sell from previous, launches in the past, because she had pre-marketing.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, there's Marketing Magazine, and it doesn't matter if you're not in these industries. You touched on it earlier. You have to do the research and you have to know what's happening globally. Look on marketingmag.com or different marketing stuff. There's all these blogs and sites that you can find out like key marketing. Super Bowl, anytime, watch previous Super Bowl commercials, look at how they create anticipation. I believe with Rihanna, I think one of the first campaigns was just her hand and the football. That was it.
Exactly.
clear, and everybody's like, wait, Super Bowl? Wait, what? And they
Right.
wanted more, it built anticipation. But a lot of things you were talking about, one of the things that really stuck to me was authenticity
Mhm.
and transparency of somebody. So, can you discuss the importance of authenticity and transparency in influencer marketing and how influencers or a brand can align with these values?
Absolutely. When it comes to, I'll start with the influencer marketing part. When it
Mhm.
comes to kind of selecting your influencers, they need to really align with your business ethos and what you're all about and what the brand is all about. Because we already know there's tons of influencers out there. They have millions of followers, but they just have millions of followers, not necessarily people that trust in what they're getting ready to talk about, what they're going to promote, different things like that. Not to mention, you may have influencers. I mean, it was a thing. I know people are doing it now, but people have bought followers,
I know.
right? And you're paying, an influencer or a content creator. I mean, we've paid content creators for a client before $50,000 for one post. And if you're going to pay $50,000 US for one post,
Yep.
you got to make sure things are aligning. Your values need to align with mine. I need to make sure that, when you're talking about a certain product or a service, that people feel like this is an honest person.
Yep.
This is a transparent person. That's why it's so important to have a personal brand. With the personal brand for a content creator or a business, it allows them to know that you're a real person.
Yep.
You have things going on just like them. You're not just only after making a dollar, because if people sniff that out from you,
Yep.
that can make sales plummet 100%.
Absolutely. It shows that you're not authentic. It shows that you're trying to just get famous, get money because you see everybody else doing it. You think this is, oh, I'm just going to copy, paste, repeat. It doesn't work that
Exactly.
way. So I love that you talked about that. I wanted to ask you, I want to double back a little bit on reels. No, I still know reels are very important because the way video is right now, people want quick, to the point, and they want it fast. So can you share some insights on reels and or why some people's reels may not be performing, and some quick tips as to what they can do to get their reels to perform a little bit better?
Absolutely. I would say with reels, if you want them to perform a little bit better, it's all about the keywords. So people make the mistake sometimes of recording the reel, like maybe on their phone or, whatever secondary device they're going to use, right? And then they add the words again from some type of app. Then they upload it to Instagram. If you're already struggling, and the keyword here, if you're already struggling, if you're already doing good with engagement, you can create your words and all that in some type of app. But if you're looking to boost engagement, you have to use the actual word option, if you will, when you're typing. Like let's say you have a title on a reel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You want to use Instagram, utilize their words on there, and then add that to your reel, meaning like the actual editing, because those words are now keywords, almost like an SEO. So if I type that the title of my reel is how to improve your reels in 5 days, now Instagram is going to look at that title and say, okay, she used the word reel. We can tell by her bio or other previous keywords that she is into digital marketing. We're going to make sure this gets in front of more people that also have been searching that keyword or looking for that keyword or interacted on other pages that have that keyword. So that's rule number one, is to use something like that. If, again, you're struggling with engagement, you want to get on the Explore page, different things like that. A second thing is trending audio. It's a simple thing, but trending audio really can give you that small little boost sometimes. I created a reel myself that I was like, oh, this is going viral. This is excellent. And I didn't use any audio whatsoever. And I think the reel might have got like 300 views. That was it.
Mm.
I reposted that same reel, right? Maybe a month later, but I added trending audio. It got 20,000 views.
Wow.
You see the big difference just from adding little small things that are already available to you on Instagram. Instagram has topics. That's like a newer feature that they have. Pretty much utilize almost everything that Instagram is offering to you when you're creating your different reels, and that will help you tremendously. Also, I would say after the post. So if I know I'm looking to hire, or I just want to learn more about someone that makes organic lipsticks, right? And I, for whatever reason, land on your page. if there's no, titles of value content that you put out from a reel, then I'm going to miss that that's what you're teaching me in the reel. So
Mm.
now what's going to happen? I'm not clicking on it because I don't know what this reel is even about. So again, a lot of people like to put just a pretty photo, but if you want someone to see it after you post it, you need to have some type of title.
I love that. I honestly, I don't think most of my reels have titles now that I'm thinking about it. My celebrity interviews, you'll see the celebrity's face and then it will say like Ashanti or whoever I'm interviewing. But some of the I definitely, that's a huge miss for me. I never thought about that. And then quickly, what are your thoughts on if I was to record this interview and decide I was going to splice it up for a reel? What are your thoughts on me adding trending audio to the background, but muting that actual trending audio so it still shows? What are your thoughts on that? Because I've seen people do that. They're like, it's you and I talking, but I see that they have a song that's there, but you don't actually hear the song.
Exactly. I love that concept. If you have something that you think is going to engage the person that lands on the reel within the first 3 to 5 seconds, maybe something that you're saying that's going to make somebody say, I want to keep listening to this, then go for it. Turn the music all the way down. That's trending. If you feel like, okay, we're really not going to get to the meat and potatoes of this thing until like 6 seconds, you need to turn the audio up just a hair where someone can hear it a little bit.
Got you. So it's managing that. This is a controversial topic in some forms. What I'm going to ask you next, I have my own opinions about this, but what is your personal opinion on the new Meta verified check being available for everyone? And what are your, and we'll ask that, and then I'm going to ask you my part 2 to that.
Okay. So people probably aren't going to like my answer to the Meta verified thing as well. And I feel like this is something that we knew was coming, at least from my standpoint, as someone that's an expert in the field. I knew that it was going to come. Do you know how many millionaires and billionaires have been made from Instagram alone? A lot of people have made millions of dollars from this platform. So it makes sense that Instagram is catching on to people are making a living from their own platform. They want to start monetizing as well. And of course, they're going to want to monetize from whatever their consumers have deemed to be the most important. And some people live and breathe, from trying to, get that blue check mark. Because in some form or fashion, it does validate you as a celebrity. Maybe it validates you as an expert. So again, they're only charging for what we have deemed to be important to us. As far as it being $14.99 and available to everyone, again, I felt like it was something that was already coming. I really don't agree with people being so angry, that, they had it beforehand and now it's available to everyone. I mean, it's not a society on Instagram, where if you had it, it means that you're better than another person. It's, again, we don't own this platform.
Yep.
You don't own this platform at all. And they have the right to do whatever it is that they want to do. And to be honest with you, I think when it comes to really trying to showcase how great you are and you're an expert and you're a celebrity, that comes from other marketing that you've done and work that you've put in before, like working with a publicist to make sure that you have different features in the news, in Forbes, and different things like that. Just having the check doesn't really equate to a higher level of society, if you ask me.
I agree. I have some thoughts on that. I feel like my sister made this comment. She feels like eventually the celebrities and those who have already gotten their checks are going to get a different color, which reestablishes them as like an original or a leader. But I'm curious now because the point of the check marks was to be like a verified, influential figure, prominent person, somebody who's worked hard.
Yeah.
To earn that check. Now with you being able to buy it, and I have heard you still have to go through a process to be verified, I think. But do you think that this now devalues the value of the check with everybody being able to have access to it?
Absolutely. Now it 100% devalues the original purpose of the check. Now I think it's more so for security. If you're using it right. If you have the blue check now and you've ever struggled with fake accounts, like I've struggled with the fake accounts.
Me too.
So anything, you know what I mean? I mean, who has time to deal with that every 5 minutes? So anything that is going to let my consumers, my followers who are also my potential clients, and some of them are my clients that have been, hit with the scamming, I'm down for it. I don't care how much it costs. I'm tired of, the fake accounts every 5 minutes. But I do think at the same time, those who worked hard to get it, I've even had people that have paid $10,000 to get that verification in the past. And now, it's available to everybody. So it definitely has devalued it 100%.
I feel like you and I could be here all day.
Yes.
Talking about everything. So I want to ask you one last question and then get into how people could connect with you and what you have coming up with your amazing brand. But what advice do you have for businesses or brands that are looking to leverage digital and influencer marketing to grow their online presence and drive business results?
Got it. I would say my best recommendation, just surface level without having to actually hire someone, would be research. Research is where it all begins. You can't really create content or have a goal to make $1 million or something like that in a week if you don't know what's going to work the best for your target audience on whatever platform is going to be the best for your audience. As a business owner, it's all about your clients. It's all about solving their problem. But no one knows you can solve their problem if you're not telling them where they want to be told about it in the way they want to learn about it, right? So market research 100% if you want to do it on your own. From there, I would say if you're like, look, I'm tired of doing it on my own, I need to hire somebody, make sure that you hire someone, again, that is well-versed in your industry. A lot of people make the mistake of hiring a digital marketer, or maybe they hire a social media manager and they think that that is marketing. Social media management is not marketing. That is someone creating content for you for one particular platform based upon what you said you want, and they're posting it. Versus you're hiring someone to create a complete campaign. All businesses need to have a digital marketing campaign, which is saying, this is the goal. These are the results that I want to get, meaning this is how many units of what need to be sold in this amount of time. And this is where we're going to have the marketing, playing or running or happening. I'm going to hire this influencer to talk about X. All of that, again, needs to be done, I always say, monthly if you're looking to make a revenue goal as a business owner. Either you do it yourself or hire someone good that knows how to do it.
What I took from that was hire somebody in your industry or area of expertise. And I relate to that as somebody who created content for brands. So there's the difference of being a creative and can see, but there's a difference in being an expert creative in that field. So if you're in travel and leisure or hospitality, hire someone who creates content or has worked in the travel hospitality arena because they know that landscape. So that's what I took from that. How can people connect with you online, follow you? Do you have any programs and stuff coming up? Like you talked about Pink University for those who weren't paying attention. What do you have that's going on and how can we connect?
Absolutely. So you can follow the actual agency at Pink Inc. anywhere. So Pink Inc. is on Twitter. We're on Instagram, LinkedIn, the whole thing. If you just search Pink Inc., it will pop up where you can do business with us and kind of see the different services that we offer. And we pretty much offer all things business development and digital marketing when it comes to women-centric brands. Some of the things that we kind of have going on, I like to make sure that we offer things for multiple different levels of women in business. So let's say, for example, you are like just getting started, and I've been there, where you're just kind of trying to learn. That's what Pink University is all about. We are 100% covering the cost, and it is broken up in semesters, just like you're at an actual university, and it's teaching you about digital marketing. It's teaching you about business foundation and business funding, different things like that is all within this self-paced university that we have. And we partner with a lot of larger brands that are able to fund you, that are able to provide you with different access to platforms that you may use. I think we recently partnered with Honeybook. If you're looking for a CRM, we've partnered with other companies and apps, again, that I know our students can use. I think at the moment we have about 5,000 students. We launched that last year. Other things that we do, we have something called the International Business Retreat. So it's literally where we take some of our higher level clients or individuals that may be C-suite executives or business owners that want to be able to learn to do business in other countries. We just recently sold out of our Miami Marketing Mastermind, and we will have another one coming up in October where it's a full day with me talking about marketing. We're able to also record content on the spot. Wow. And another thing that we're working on right now, I have not necessarily made the announcement, but we have 2 different locations now, and we're opening up our 3rd location in London on Oxford Street on our 10th anniversary. So we're growing, we're doing a lot of great stuff. But if you want to kind of follow along with the journey, definitely check us out on Instagram, or you can follow me at I am Brittany Freeman, which is just my name.
I love all this for you. Congratulations. Yes, you are a creative businesswoman, a boss doing your thing. And I love that you're making an impact and using your gifts to influence people. Also, I believe Instagram needs to cut you a check on all the gems you dropped on Instagram. So, I mean, we'll have to work it out. But I'm so grateful for you guys. This was just the tip of the iceberg. We didn't even scratch anything really. Brittany has a wealth of knowledge. I implore you and encourage you to check her out online, check out her website, check out Pink You, just get acclimated. She has a lot of great content. I've checked it out. If you guys saw me looking down, I was taking notes too. Like just, this is Creative Class Entrepreneurs. We are here to teach you, learn from only the best. So Brittany, thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And you guys stay tuned for more conversations. Thank you guys.